Hello and welcome to Crucible of Words for more dedicated legacy action. Today we are exploring the wonderful world of Up the Beanstalk a little bit more. This card is really fun, it lets you do some pretty cool things. And the larger mana spells we're going to be casting today are going to be things like Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, Myr Enforcer, and Sojourner's Companion, which is just a Myr Enforcer but slightly better basically. So we're kind of playing like an old school affinity deck in some respects, where we got like a bunch of zeros trying to power out some bigger things. We don't have like the middle amount the old affinity decks used to have with things like Ravager or whatever. So what we're trying to do is do Glimpse of Nature chains maybe with the Memnites and Ornithopters into these things and just kind of keep it rolling. So we've got the Glimpses and the Beanstalks as like a solid 8-pack of things, just draw lots of cards. And obviously that's going to make us draw more cards, and so on and so forth. And then we do have a bunch of 7-drops here, which means we can Neoform it into a Craterhoof as a nice little win condition, which is pretty cool. I saw Pleasant Kenobi over on Twitter post something very similar to this. So clearly there's a few people with their sort of minds trying to work out how to do this thing. But suffice to say, I spent some time looking on Scryfall for cards that cost 5 or more that happen to have ways of reducing their costs. So you might see some more Up the Beanstalk decks on the channel. Don't you worry about that. We are pretty stone cold to things like Null Rod in this deck. That is one of the prices we pay for what we're attempting here, because we got 8 artifact lands and we have Cradle, which doesn't do anything without creatures in play anyway. But in theory, this Cradle should be tapping for a decent amount of mana. We've also got ourselves as a Saga to make some constructs, so we can kind of maybe get there. So if we have a couple of 0-drops and a Cradle, we can then start tapping our Saga. And that's one of the only ways we're going to really be able to get through a Null Rod. But that's what the sideboard's for. So anyway, that's the main deck. We have one Aether Spellbomb, one Shadowspear with some targets here. Springleaf Drum just to help add some more mana going along the way. As for sideboard, we've got answers for Null Rod. We have answers for Craterhoof. And then we have some stuff to beat combos. So we got some Graveyard Hate, and we got a split between Mindbreaks and Thorn of Amethyst for combo decks. I think the Thorn of Amethyst is going to be useful against some of the control decks as well, because non-creature spells costing 1 more to cast. When we're mainly trying to be getting creature spells playing, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. And Affinity does take away from the cost of the Thorn as well. So if we have 7 artifacts in play and we play a Thorn of Amethyst, this is still going to be able to be effectively free. So yeah, that's the deck. I've not managed to test it yet, so we're going in cold. I'll leave like a bit of a fun one to explore what's going on, and we're going to learn it together as I play it. So buckle up. This is going to be a fun one, hopefully, and not just a miserable one where we get locked out all the time. But we're hoping to draw a lot of cards, and that's one of the most fun things you can do in Magic. So, all right. Remember to like and subscribe, and let's play some Affinity for Beans, I guess we're calling this. If you're looking to play Legacy on MTGO like me, why not try Card Hoarder? They're a rental service that I personally use, and I found them better than other rental services that I've used in the past. So why not give them a try? So what do we do here? We go turn 1 Tree of Tails, turn 1 Tree of Tails, Shadowspear. Turn 3, play another that. So we have 3 artifacts in play there. We play Up the Beanstalk. Turn 4. This is a very slow hand. I think we can find something a bit more exciting and explosive here. So what does this hand do? Second Mox Opal is a little bit annoying, but 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts. So this will only cost 3. We can get ourselves Up the Beanstalk going. This one doesn't seem amazing either, but we're going to give it a go. We're in uncharted territory. We kind of need a critical mass to start the ball rolling. Let's hope this is a matchup where we get a little bit of time, because our hand's going to be pretty good with some time. A couple of turns to set up, really. And then we can start doing some big stuff. Delighted Halfling. Okay, so we're somewhere in the... Like, they're a Urine deck as well, sorry. So we're somewhere in the... Alright, okay. This is an interesting one. So we can play out the Beanstalk this turn. Alright, now we're cooking with gas. Is good enough for a counter spell? Okay, it is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we need a couple more mana to get our Thought Monitor going. Okay, that Wasteland is really bad news for us. All right. Okay, we drew another land, so that's okay for us. Deploy the Shadowspear and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got one more mana to find before we can cast this Thought Monitor, and then just hopefully keep snowballing the game from there. Okay, they've just returned a Wasteland, so not really a fan of that one. An artifact, please. That's an artifact. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Glimpse of Nature first. There's a Force of Will on this. That's fine. We can cast this, so we put it on the stack, and then we pay with these. Get ourselves a little bit deeper into the old deck here. Okay, we can just cast this. Wait, no we can't. We don't have enough mana for this yet, do we? Sure, we'll pass. We know our opponent's got lands because they like from the lane back to fetch lands, yep. They didn't want the Wasteland, which is interesting. That could mean something much worse is coming for us. Black, white, blue, green. We're going to see an Uro here. We're going to see a Leovold. Leovold's kind of awkward. There's the Leovold. Okay. Well, we can start chipping away until we're ready to jam. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will cost us 1 mana. So now we can equip here. Or if we Neoform this, we only have 3 creatures. It's not that much damage. Okay, I think we'll just equip on the Ornithopter for now. And we'll go to attacks. Smash him for a cheeky 3. Now we gain less life than putting it on the Thought Monitor, but it gives us multiple, I say threats, but let's see. Because we have to sacrifice a 7-drop to Neoform. We can't just sacrifice an Ornithopter. This is the one that when they do landfall, they get some mana, and then if they get another land, they get an elf or an elemental or something. Yeah, I think we have just about lethal damage if I crack this Neoform off. We're losing our blue land. That's fine. Our Mox Opal can be the other blue we need. A Thoughtcast. Not really the one we wanted, was it? Blue, green. Let's just sacrifice this and just take a big old bite out of crime here. They got another Force of Will blue card. Is there remaining 2 cards in hand? It is. Yuck, that's disgusting. Okay. I think we attack both. They double block here. I don't mind trading off for the Leovold. So they dredged life from the loam there. I think we're going to get slowly wastelanded out of this game. We're not able to draw any additional cards here, which is a real pity. Okay, they didn't play the wasteland, so that's alright. Down to 8. The little Ornithopter that could. Let's see if we can go all the way with it. A Bayou, sure. They've shown us everything but red so far. Okay, just revealed a bunch of cards in their deck, so let's have a look. Yeah, no red. Alright. Thorn Wanderer's kind of an annoying one. Like, if we were pinging for 1 here, they can just put the Nissa and the Delighted Halfling in front of the companion here, and that's not great for us. But we could move the Shadowspear over, so this becomes a 5/5. So that won't be enough to kill it. I think that's probably worth doing. Let's equip it to this. Our deck trying to draw lots and lots of cards is going to struggle a little bit versus the old Leovold. Alright, so they're letting us kill the Leovold here. Interesting. Now, we are kind of a bit shy of resources here. But if we can go back to drawing cards again, we can refuel, because we have a lot of ability to refuel here. Now, we're going to get wastelanded off of our Tree of Tails. So we might need to find an artifact. Have they got another Leovold? They showed us some. Okay, they do just have another Leovold. I think we're probably losing this one. We can play a couple more turns, but it feels like our opponent's probably got that. We can't really break out this Leovold. We don't have any main deck ways of dealing with that apart from the Aether Spellbomb. So maybe we could try something like that. I guess there's a world where we can kind of get there with the Ornithopter, but we're going to lose a Tree of Tails this turn. Need to re-equip. Yeah, they're going to start coming in. Got a relatively healthy life total at least, but I'm not confident. So we can play this out. Do we think we can just get 8 hits in? So this is 6. So they'll kill us in 4 swings. 5 swings. And we need 8 swings. So this isn't going to work for us. They can't wasteland us off anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thoughtcast isn't going to work here. Alright, I think we just have to pass here. I guess this game's not going to go much longer. So might as well just See how bad it is for us. Yeah, I'm happy to pack that one up now. I'm just blowing up all of our resources. Okay. So what do I think we want here? I think we might need some dismembers potentially. How are we supposed to board stuff out in this matchup is an interesting question. Maybe this isn't... I was going to say maybe this isn't a Neoform matchup. But I don't think it's a Shadowspear matchup. The Glimpse is pretty handy. It's a case of how much we want to go down on some of these other bits. So maybe we can just be like trimming. Like the Thoughtcast is kind of the glue that gets us up another step. Maybe just play 3 Dismember and try and go hard and fast. Because they can shut off our mana to the point where casting Dismember is going to be awkward anyway. Alright. I would much rather be in my opponent's shoes in this matchup. So, we shall see. What does this hand do? 1 and a Springleaf Drum. Turn 2, we play this and our Beanstalk. Turn 3, 1, 2, 3 mana. 4, 5. This still doesn't really go anywhere. None of this is land. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're 1 land shy off of casting this Thoughtcast. I don't think we're supposed to keep this though. Okay, this is the best one so far, I think. It's not great. We put back the card we can't cast. And Cradle is 2 mana. Tree of Tales also 2 mana. Do that what you will, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 1 mana shy of casting this. I think we'll play out the Tree of Tales first. Maybe we can get a Glimpse this turn. We can do some fun stuff. We have to resolve said Glimpse. Myr Enforcer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 1 mana shy. Are we supposed to play out our Cradle? I think so. I don't think we're supposed to play out our little 0 drops either. So our opponent could just play something like a Craterhoof this turn and kill us. And then we're going to have a sad time. Witherbloom Command could be a thing that ruins our day. Okay. So play out a Memnite. Play out an Ornithopter. Force of Vigor. I will float a mana. This does jam up what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe we are cycling this for an artifact land. And we're going to get ourselves a Seat of the Synod. Oh, we're going to get something weird that I don't know about ruining our day. Plowing our guy, sure. So we have a question of whether we play this. So this is 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4. I guess we can't really afford to play anything here. We played a land out this turn anyway? No, we didn't. We just drew the Mox. Yep. Our opponent's deck is pretty well kitted out to beat what we're doing here. We need to get the early snowball going and we have failed. Alright, that's going to stop us from being able to develop our board in any particularly explosive fashions. I guess we'll play this out. I'm not really sure how we're going to win this one. Lorien revealed, being cycled. Get themselves a cheeky little island. Yep, so we're doing that before they drew so that they could shuffle away from the brainstorm last turn. There's an Uro. I think the writing's on the wall here. I don't think we need to keep playing this one. I'm happy to throw in the towel and go to another game where we can maybe do something more fun. Alright. 1, 2... Okay, this looks more like it. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a turn 2 Myr Enforcer. I think we keep our creatures back so we can play them all in one little flurry in case we draw some sort of draw spell. Uh-oh. Not islands. They don't mean anything good for us. Cradle. That's an interesting one, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we play this one. Make a 2 mana 4/4. And then we pass. So if we can draw a blue source, we can do a little Craterhoof, but it's not really going to get us there. What do I think our opponent is playing? Could be High Tide. Could be like Omnitel. I'm just seeing cantrips right now, so hard to say. Could be Doomsday. Okay, we're definitely on the combo spectrum. Preordain is not a card you see outside of combo decks for the most part, unless they're playing that like Will of the Council or something, whatever it's called, the one that's draws a card, but then if you scry at any point, you get some cards out of your graveyard. All right, so we can do like a little Craterhoof here, and that's going to be 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage, and we'll have lethal on board. But that's going to play into a counter spell. Guess we'll play out this Lotus Petal, play out this Cradle, go attacks, get 5 in here, and then a Craterhoof next turn will be lethal. But we have to lose our biggest threat in order to do that, so not ideal. But we're kind of doing something. Ponder, okay, just more pondering. This could also be Ad Nauseam Tendrils, or like a new Beseech Tendrils deck. We just don't have that much information yet. Tide Ritual, okay, what flavour of madness is this going to be for us? A Doomsday, okay. Do they have a line that wins this turn? If they don't, then we might be able to win. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage we'll have if we go and get the Craterhoof next turn. And if we draw the Craterhoof, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not enough mana. So if we draw the Craterhoof, we're definitely dead. Actually, our opponent's going to lose a bunch of life for this Doomsday as well, right? So they're going to go to 6, which is more than we're representing. So they might have to do a pass the turn line here. We'll see. Guess the best draw for us would be a 7-drop artifact creature that we can play for free and then Neoform that so that our Myr Enforcer gets haste. Well, sorry, so our Myr Enforcer gets to attack. Not gets haste, but... Alright, they got a Brainstorm or anything here? Okay, it's game over. They have a Brainstorm. So they can Brainstorm into the right things. It's going to be Lion's Eye Diamond and Consider or something like that. So we should be dead here. There's a Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, they can Street Wraith here and then crack... Yeah, they Street Wraith and crack the Lion's Eye Diamond into Consider and Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, alright. I worked out the pile. Let's also have a little peek at their deck, see if there's anything weird there. No Beseech the Mirror, just good old-fashioned personal tutor combo time. Alright, they've got an Edge of Autumn there as well. So make sure they have 0 cards in case we have some shenanigans. Alright. Not an easy one, that. I would like these Thorn of Amethysts. And there's an option for Surgicals and Mindbreaks, but they can quite easily play around Mindbreaks. It's a case of whether or not they do. We do not require Shadowspear or Spellbomb, so we can have these 2 Thorns in for that. I don't think we want the Surgical Extractions. Like, they're not necessarily that useful. I'll try this. You can shuffle your opponent's pile, but we're not discarding our opponent or countering their Doomsday or whatever. So it's going to be very hard for us to actually leverage this Surgical Extraction into anything other than shuffling their pile. And I don't think it's worth diluting our deck to try and have a shuffle in there. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just not... Like, if we draw a creature, like a 0-drop would be okay here. I think we need to... Right, we don't want this. I don't think this hand gets us there either. Alright. This can do some stuff, maybe. So we need to keep a land, I think, here. An Ornithopter, a Mox. We can play the Springleaf Drum first, and then maybe have this and the Glimpse. So maybe it's the Petal that goes alongside. Is it the Mox? I think it's the Mox. We're going to need this Glimpse of Nature to pull us out here. So the idea here is we go turn 1, see the Synod, play Springleaf Drum. Next turn we play. We play the Ornithopter and we can make green and maybe snowball into some stuff. Or if we can draw like a Tree of Tails, we can draw some cards here. Like, I'm not confident that our deck's very good. They didn't play anything on their first turn. Interesting. That is very interesting. Are we just going to get... Okay, we're not going to get... So this is 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4, 5, 6. We're not quite there yet. Do we want to... I think we will just cycle this because of the situation we're in right now. Like if we find another 0 drop, then we're doing okay. Alright. Understood, opponent. Alright, we got a threat now. We got a 1-1. We're on the board. It's interesting they didn't make a land drop on their first turn. We're going to see Dark Ritual Doomsday here. Or are we going to get another turn? We're going to get another turn. Okay. Probably the worst draw in our deck. I'm pretty sure it's the worst draw in our deck. Okay. So the whole Neoform line isn't going to work. Ponder. See, sometimes I'll play a deck on the channel that I've not played a single game with, done no testing with, that I've just built from theory crafting, and we'll go 4-1 off, even get the trophy with it, like we did with the Sholdridge Bowmasters combo deck that I built a while back. But then we'll have ones like this, where I just think our deck is poorly built at this point already. I don't know, maybe we're just getting unfortunate, but I think there's some stuff in our deck that just doesn't really work. So we should be able to cast this now. This will cost us 2 of our finest manas. We can pay around a daze. Alright, we have our little axolotl. Boom, 1 of your finest damages, please, Memnite. Be afraid, opponent. You're getting Memnited. I guess with a Cradle, I'm up to 6 mana. So, okay, this is the Doomsday turn. Does this turn kill us this turn? Can we do anything? I guess we can have like a bit of a wombo-y turn maybe that results in a Cradle tapping for Craterhoof Behemoth. Right, they're very quick with their pile. Anything interesting sideboard-wise there? No, not really. I guess they don't really need much to beat us at the end of the day. Alright, so they have a Brainstorm here, so it should be game over. They've got enough life to work with. I will concede to the Brainstorm. Alright, we are not winning a game yet. Let's see if we can do better. Okay, so the turn 1 Beanstalk. Something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might be able to cast multiple spells. Ah, there's the little friend of mine. Welcome back, Craterhoof Behemoth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't quite get there right now, but we can play this. Tap this for green. Tapping this. Make the Beanstalk. So next turn we can do a Thought Monitor that draws us additional cards. Alright, Neoform that's now a completely dead card in our deck. I don't think the Neoform package is worth doing. I think it's too cute. Let's see what happens here. Is it going to be Trinisphere? I'll be a little bit miserable. It is the Trinisphere. Hello, Trinisphere. Thanks for coming out. We can cast our Thought Monitor, though. This will draw us a lot of cards. A Cradle, you say? That's pretty cool. A Blood Moon. Goodbye, one of our things, then. So no more Urza Saga, but the rest of it isn't too much of an issue, because our mana's fine. Right, so we can play another artifact. That's probably going to be useful here. 1. All our stuff's going to cost 3 anyway. The Cradle doesn't tap for Cradle mana anymore. So the Craterhoof is now a Pipe Dream. But we can just cast this. It does draw us a card. I'm enjoying drawing lots of cards and just got a Beanstalk going. We're getting close to being able to double spell here. Sure, Rabble Master, I will eat that with my Sojourner's Companion, the little 1-1 that comes off of it. Delicious. What you got for us, deck? Another Urza Saga. Not really the one I was after, if I'm being honest. Do I want to deal with this Rabble Master? I think we're just going to keep swinging. And we'll cast a 3-mana Memnite. The saddest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Wow, we got there with our nonsense. Sideboarding. There's 2 different schools of thought for how we can sideboard here. It's either Force of Vigors or Dismembers. I think we want to just be able to beat them with our creatures. So the Force of Vigor is probably good. Means we can't really drop our little package here, because that's going to be important. Just for being a green card. But I do not think this Neoform is working out nicely for us. How are we supposed to sideboard here? So at the moment we've got one Force of Vigor in. Are we supposed to like trim something like... We can't really trim the green cards if we're trying to use Force of Vigor. So maybe we're like trimming a Thoughtcast to give us a second one there. Like, do we trim some of this? I don't think we can afford to trim this. I think it's too important. Trim a Springleaf Drum. It gives us 3. Can we fit in a fourth one? So we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 green cards. Yeah, whatever we're cutting is not going to be a green card. Maybe we should cut one of the 0 drops. Maybe it's the Petal here. Because the Petal can give us the mana we want, but our opponent's probably going to play Chalice for 0. So we don't want a hand with loads of those. If we replace those with something that blows up Chalice, that'd be alright. This hand is very slow. Alright, what are we supposed to do? I think Blood Moon is going to give us a bad time. So we'll probably keep this and throw back the Saga, even though the Saga is very high power level. Or maybe we just throw out the Neoform. That annoys me as a card, so let's do that. We might be doing Glimpse of Nature just as a draw 1 here, but we'll see. Shadowspear tapped or untapped. Alright, a Chalice for 0. So we can still draw cards by casting the Memnite, because it's a creature card. A Cradle. That's not going to be the most useful, is it? Right, we'll deploy a Tree of Tails. I think it's better to have this Glimpse of Nature as a green card in our hand than it is as a drawing 1 card. We can just play a Saga game and hope they don't Blood Moon us. It's a plan. It's all we've got. 4 mana. Chaos of Chaos Avenger. That's quite a good creature. That's certainly better than all of the creatures in our deck, probably put together. Alright. So these Saga tokens probably not gonna be enough here. Although we will get the ability to get the Shadowspear soon, and that could be an important development. Like, our Saga constructs are going to be big. Yep, you can have a large creature there. Be a really annoying turn to get Blood Mooned. Magus of the Moon. Why do I say anything? Alright, here comes the Saga. Let's make a little construct. It'll be a 3/3. Which is bigger than a Magus of the Moon at the very least. Which is something. Right, so we lose our Saga before we get to get the Shadowspear or a Mox, if that's the thing we wanted. We're not blocking here. We don't have a basic to go and fetch when we get the initiative off our opponent, which is certainly annoying. And if we attack with just this construct on its own, our opponent will kill us on the backswing. So we need some help, deck. Up the Beanstalk. Are you help? You don't really look like help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can cast... Play this out. So we can just cast a Myr Enforcer and block with it. Like, we don't have anything else going on. So we have a little swing with our construct here. We take 7 plus 5, which puts us to 1. Oh yes, a basic land. No basics allowed. So our Cradle is not going to be tapping for any mana because of the make. Well, it will tap for 1 mana, so we can still play it. It means if we draw a 7 drop, we can maybe draw some cards and try and do something. It's going to be very hard for us to cheat on mana here and get some stuff going. Fiery Confluence, that is game over. Alright, we're on the play this time. I think I like how I've sideboarded. I think we just roll it back. Right, we need a nice explosive hand. Let's jump out the gates and ruin our opponent's day with our hand that doesn't do anything. Let's mulligan. Okay, so we can answer some stuff here. Maybe this is a keep. This hand is an interesting one for sure. I like having the Myr Enforcers because that's carved with Beanstalk, isn't it? We have to throw back 1 Force of Vigor here and just play up the Tree of Tails. Just play out a little cheeky Tree of Tails. Our opponent's mulligan to 5, so if we can hit 2 things with the Force of Vigor, that might give us enough of card advantage to kind of get somewhere. Why is it not the Beanstalk an artifact? And be a lot more helpful for our deck. Chrome Mox. Alright, we might get a nice Force of Vigor in the near future. Play a Chalice. Sure, okay. Okay, in their end step we will blow these two things up. Now we still need to find something. So we've got effectively 4 mana for the purposes of Affinity. So we're kind of a long ways off of doing anything, but so is our opponent. Neoform. Why are you in my deck, Neoform? If we didn't have Neoforms, we just had more 0 drops, our deck would be so much better. 2, 4, 6. So we can't cast any of these. They cost 4 right now. But any mana and we can start rolling. We might win with a Neoform kill, but I still think it's bad. What play are you going to go for there, opponent? It's going to be the Goblin. Oh no. Oh no. Not a fan of that one. Yikes. Okay, Blood Moons. That means casting Thought Monitor and Neoform are going to be very difficult. If we can find another land, we can cycle this for the artifact land. And it will still be an artifact land, so it will help us with Affinity. But we have been very much sent back to the Stone Age here. Alright, another useless card. Cool. And now they've got a big guy that's just going to beat us down. We did get a game win in this round, but I think that's probably the end of that chapter. So we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, I think I'm going to take one more draw and probably call it a day, yeah. And this pretty rubbish game. Yeah, the third Neoform. Get out of here. I'm done with that game. Yeah, we got rolled. Our deck isn't very good. So, but we're going to persevere. I would like to get a match win on the board. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Don't want the 0-5. Let's see if we can get a win. What does our hand do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we only need any 0 drop. And we can make a turn to 7-7 and really start the wheels rolling. I guess we'll try it. Shadowspear. Okay. I'll play that out. I don't think I want to play out a Mox Opal into a Prismatic. Having our Shadowspear Prismatic is annoying. Having our Mox Opal Prismatic is pretty devastating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wow, Enchantress. Cool. Alright. How close are we to doing the really broken things of drawing lots of cards? This is 1, 2 mana, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the 7th. So we play as a Saga this turn. Next turn, we can have a turn where we cast Glimpse of Nature. And then just start going off. Maybe. I don't know. Like, we probably should just be playing the 4/4s right now. But I want to live the dream a little bit. We're not here to be winning all the games of Magic in the world. We're here to do our thing. We knew that when we signed up. Wild Growth. Alright, our opponent's doing mana jumping stuff themselves as well. I'd love to draw a Solitary Confinement. Okay. Alright, that's not an easy one for us to beat. A Neoform. Not very exciting. Maybe we're just going to jam some as a Saga constructs for a turn or two. I think they should be able to just go ham with this Solitary Confinement. Alright, every enchantment draws 2. We need them to basically brick is the only way we can win this game now. Which is pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. Where is our Questing Beast? Prevent all damage. It would be dealt to you. Yep, Enchantress present. So every single enchantment will draw 3. And now Destiny Spinner. Are we supposed to show our opponent the cool stuff we can do? Maybe. How are we supposed to dig ourselves out of this little hole? We could get ourselves a Springleaf Drum right now. That helps us have more mana for when we're trying to do broken things. So if we play our Mox Opal out, all of our stuff's going to be free. So let's go ham. Draw some more cards. Kind of stuck a bit there. So I guess we can play this out. We'll keep this one. This is going to prevent all damage that's dealt to them. So that's not great for us. Oh wait, we can bounce one of their guys. That might be relevant. We'll equip this though. Well, if we could get rid of this solitary confinement, we'd be okay. Alright. Enlightened Tutor. I'm going to get a little bit more of a feel of what our opponent's got in their deck. But feels like we're going to struggle here. I don't think they're ever going to let up on their solitary confinement. 3 cards a turn is a lot. Like we can take away the... Oh, this only removes Hexproof, right? It doesn't remove Shroud. Okay, yeah, so we can't remove the Shroud of the Enchantress and try and get that. Going, where's this? 8. Show us something cool. Sithis, yeah, that'll do me. Eventually they can just make some giant guys and do stuff. Alright, I would like 4 times Force of Vigor, please. Don't think Spellbomb is going to be that useful. I'm not 100% convinced by Shadowspear here, right, let's be honest. And then we got a couple more trims to make. Neoform has been bad, but it is one of our green cards. But we can actually cast our green spells this time around because they're not going to be doing Blood Moons, so we'll try this. This does require us to find something, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're close though. I think we roll with this. So next turn we can cast the Glimpse of Nature. No, sorry, not the Glimpse of Nature, the Thoughtcast. Wild Growth, sure. Alright, come on deck, do something cool. So, if we play this guy out first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this can then tap to cast. Alright, we're going to try it. Go for a Glimpse of Nature first. Then we'll cast this. Draw a card. Make a blue mana. Play out this. It costs us 2. The next one costs us 1. You can pay for with this. Okay, that was an okay turn. Like, what do we have to show for it at the end of it though? Like 2 4/4s. Feels like you can just Rhino instead if you want to make 2 4/4s. Enchantress, sure. Caracas. On Thin Ice. Oakley dokley. Gonna lose our Axolotl. Right, we will make ourselves a construct. What do we get here? We already have a Mox Opal. Do you want another Springleaf Drum? I don't hate that, to be honest. I'm pretty mana hungry. We can play this out. Make ourselves a Beanstalk. Which draws us a card. Okay. We will attack with our creatures here. Get some damage in at our opponent. And then hopefully we can draw a creature next turn. Maybe do some more glimpsing. Our opponent is a lovely human being, which is nice. Right. Our opponent's forest taps for a decent amount of mana, I would say. So we're going to see an Enchantress's Presence here. It's not a solitary confinement, so we're going to lose our 8/8 construct, I believe. Yep, this means if we do get rid of that on Thin Ice, we don't get anything back from it. But we're still beaten down. Oh yes, this is what we want to see. Alright, so this will tap for green. Let's Glimpse of Nature. Let's get on it. Wasn't the one we wanted. Oh yes, now we're pod racing. Oh, look at this. Oh, and another one. Oh, here we go, and we're going to do the thing. We've got all the cards here. If we tap this for green, cast on the Glimpse. Why wouldn't we, right? And then we'll cast this Thought Monitor. Look at all these cards. All in my chops. Draw some more cards. And now what are we doing? I think we are on making some blue mana with our Thought Monitor. And casting a Thought Monitor. And we haven't found that Neoform that could be useful in a situation like this. I guess we play this Mox Opal out. And keep this one. That's Lotus Petal. Try for a Beanstalk here. Another Mox Opal, so we can play another Beanstalk if we want to. But do we want to? Because that is another green card. Interesting. I think we're just going to play out... I really want another Beanstalk, let's be honest. You came here to see Beanstalks. Let's make a Beanstalk. So... Play out this Lotus Petal. This Tree of Tails. Play out this Beanstalk. We don't actually have to blow up our opponent's stuff yet. They haven't got the scary one out yet. Alright, this draws us some more cards. Let's keep going. Alright, let's draw some more cards. We're doing stuff. Oh, we can just win the game now. Winning the game is good. As long as we didn't draw the thing. So we'll play this out. Oh wow. We're really doing it. Our opponents asked if they lose via Thassa's Oracle. No you don't. So blue and green. Sacrifice this Thought Monitor. Big boy hoofs. Let's swing with lots of guys. Right. Opponent is going to Force of Vigor two of our guys here. That's pretty good. And they're going to have to chump block with their guy. So they go to 1 here. And we have to get a cleanup. Go to some Sagas. Some stuff here. So we can just Force of Vigor on our turn with a Cradle. What is this? Chancellor's Presence. That will draw them some cards. We're only interested in one specific thing, so I think it's good to hold our Force of Vigors for that. Because we might need both of them if they get the thing that gives their other enchantment Shroud. And they play that first, we have to blow that up before we get to blow up the other one. Sterling Grove, I believe it's called. The One Ring. Alright. That's not fair. Unless we cast the Thought Monitor, draw a bunch of cards. I'll be careful not to deck ourselves, to be honest. Because these are mandatory draws. Play this one out. Play out our guy's Cradle. I don't think we're going to draw any more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can cast 3 copies of Force of Vigor. And we'll get rid of... I guess we don't need this Beanstalk now. We don't want these draw spells. Right, so this, the One Ring, isn't going to be drawing them cards. So Sanctum, okay, they're going to have a lot of mana here. Oh my god, what are they paying all this mana in for? Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. That's a pretty good one. We have a lot of permanents though. We'll cast this. We're going to get rid of this and this. Maybe we should have done this first. How many of these enchantments can we get rid of? We can get rid of their mana ones. I was not expecting the Emrakul though. I'm not sure if we can afford to play the Force of Vigor here. If we get rid of the mana producing ones here. Yeah, we should have done this before, to be honest. Right, we have a lot of permanents here, and we can still cast this Force of Vigor if necessary. Well, this has been one of the most ridiculous games of Magic the Gathering I've played for a while. Right, so Annihilator 6. So we want to get rid of our Beanstalks, so we don't really need to draw any more cards here. I kind of like having the mana here, though. We'll get rid of this Memnite, and get rid of Ornithopter, I suppose. Blocks. This doesn't have trample. It's not often you get to block an Emrakul, so now tapping the One Ring. Alright, we got one. I'll take that. Truly one of the more ridiculous games of Magic Gathering I've played for a while. I guess we just roll it back. So we need a nice hand that does some good things. Does our hand do any good things? Some may say no. We have a load of 7-drops. How invested in this Force of Vigor? Our opponent kept 7 here. We're quite invested in having a Force of Vigor here. But if we can get our engine rolling, we will have all the Force of Vigors anyway. Then we need to mulligan. Right, I think this one is slightly better. I don't think we need the glimpse there. I'm not... Like, we don't have the Force of Vigor, but if our engine doesn't get rolling, we're not going to be able to do anything anyway. So we need to kind of get our engine rolling, and then it will find us the Force of Vigor. Yep, a Utopia Sprawl. Okay. Play out Springleaf Drum. Our opponent might have sound like a deafening silence, so we want to play out our artifacts while we can. It does expose us to some unpleasant things. in the form of Force of Vigor, but that's life for you. I don't know, let's pause my upkeep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this costs 1 more than we have right now, but we can make it next turn. Or we can just start pumping out some constructs and then hold back these guys as a cool thing to do in a bit. Enlightened Tutor. This is probably bad news for us. What are they going to put on top? Stony Silence. Alright. Stony Silence, not going to be our friend here. But we have Force of Vigor, so it's fine. I'm having a lot of fun, at least. My opponent is a good sport, even if they are absolutely mullering us over there. Up the Beanstalk. Now, we can still play artifacts, and these will get reduced in cost. So there is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we can start making some guys next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we find... This would be a great turn to find... Ugh, that's pretty bad news. Well, actually, no. They have Stony Silence to play. Yeah, just two clowns just clowning around over here. Alright, so now we can actually get to make our guy this turn. So what do we want here? Does it matter is the next question. I think we want something that attacks. So we'll have a Memnite. And this gets a counter on it. Then we play this out. And I believe we can cast this if I've done the maths. Yes, we're getting there. And then next turn, we get to play our other Myr Enforcer. Or, well, our Sojourner's champion. Enchantress Presence, okay. Oh, look at that. They had an enchantment. Who'd have guessed? Alright, sure. I'm making us work for it here. Glimpse of Nature. Right, we'll get another Memnite. It beats down. Not how we drew it up, but it's where we are right now. So cast this. Cast this. Go attacks. This is just like old school Affinity when it first came out. But after the Skull Clamps were gone. Where you're just playing 0 mana 4/4s. Oh, a land. That's what we want to see. 4, 8, 12. Oh my god, are we going to get there? I'm on the edge of my seat. Is this a Force of Vigor? No, it is a Force of Vigor. Just targeting the drum. And their own Stony Silence. Oh dear. Alright, we managed to get a match win. So now we're going to see if we can get 50 play points back by getting a second match win. We're on the play. Okay, we'll keep this. You've got to believe. Here we go. There's a Saga. Memnite. Memnite. Mox Opal. Let's make a Beanstalk. Alright, let's see how bad it's going to be from what our opponent does. Snow-covered Forest. A wild... In 2 Enchantresses in 1 league. What are the odds? A Mox Opal. That's not actually very helpful, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can, however, make a guy off of our Urza Saga, which will make it easier next turn. Temple Garden. Is that Savannah number 5, perhaps? I'm going to see something weird here, I think. Could just be Enchantress's Presence, though. Search the library for creatures. This is just going to find them in Enchantress. Okay, we're going to have a reader here. Light Pods. When an aura enters battlefield on your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura's and with a different name and put that card on the battlefield attached to Emperor. Okay. Pre-wild. Alright. Let's tap this for mana. Let's get a Springleaf Drum here. Let's play a Seat of the Synod. So we have 6 artifacts in play. So if we go green, cast our Glimpse of Nature. We go blue for Thought Monitor. Okay, this is going to draw us a card as well. We might be able to kill them here. Play this, draw a card. We've already played a land drop, so that's not going to get us anywhere. Cast this. Yield. Yield. Alright, this being in our hand isn't the ideal. Some might say it being in our deck isn't the ideal, but that's a different conversation perhaps. Alright, we will make some blue mana. We will draw some cards. We'll draw some more cards. Draw some more cards. And play out this Springleaf Drum. And this Lotus Petal. Like, we can do the Cradle next turn anyway. Let's cast this. So we'll tap this for blue. Oh, wow. They're just scooping it up. That was a turn 3. I don't think we killed this turn, but we get pretty close. So I'm pretty excited by that. That kind of shows you what our deck should be trying to do. Alright, so what did we board before? We bored out some Neoforms because they annoy me. I kind of want the Spellbomb more now we've seen the Light Pause. Maybe board out 1 Petal. What does this hand do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can make a turn 1 Beanstalk, but at what cost? I like the Beanstalk. Let's give it a go, right? I think we're going to want these draw engines. Deafening Silence or something. Just a Wild Growth, sure. It's over to us. I think we play out the Memnite here. I don't think we burn our Lotus Petal to make a Tree of Tails. To make a Beanstalk here. Although I kind of want to. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. The Lotus Petal acts as more mana, but this will give us more cards, which can hopefully keep snowballing us. I'm happy to take off next turn, just making another Beanstalk, and then try and get them on turn 3. Imagine if our deck had more 0-drop creatures in, how good it would be. If only our deck was built very differently. Core Spirit Dancer, sure. Alright, so we're on like a Boggles. Okay, I'm going to have to read what this is. Lash Knife. If you try. Okay, so they're just tapping a creature to play that instead. Alright. Not sure I've ever seen that card before in my life, so it's exciting. There's a Saga. Is that going to get us anywhere here? Or do we just want to start jamming more artifact lands? I think we just want more artifact lands. I'm going to go up the Beanstalk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. You can jab our opponent for 1. And then what are we doing with our next turn? We play Tree of Tails. And we can play a Myr Enforcer, which will draw us 2 cards. Our opponent's creature is going to be getting big. Enchantress and sort of Boggles in the same league. What are the odds? Lash Knife, sure. This is kind of an interesting... Like, obviously, Lash Knife isn't very good, but it does give them the ability to draw cards for free. Mox Opal would be a very good draw for us right now. Then we're going to get bash for 4 here. Yep. Give me Mox Opal, please. Thoughtcast. Sure, we play this one out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is only going to cost us 1 mana. Can we do this? It's going to draw us a lot of cards. Oh, it gives us a 0 mana outfit. Where's our Mox Opal? God damn, there's no Mox Opals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't actually cast any of these. This is the wrong colour. Oh, this is pretty ugly, isn't it? 3 mana. That's not really where we need to be here, is it? Ugh. Awkward. What are we discarding here? I think the time for Urza Saga is gone. So if our opponent doesn't kill us this turn, I think we've got a pretty good shot at being able to kill our opponent next turn. If we drawn Mox Opal that turn, that would have been so much better. What is this? Ethereal Armor. Okay. And it's going to be a big creature. That's 9. Have they got Daybreak Coronet, I think it's called. Okay. It's going to be like another... I don't know the numbers here. Have a look. Alright, that's lethal. Alright. Yeah, we just bricked on 1 draw there and it cost us. Are we supposed to be bringing in Dismembers for these little guys? I don't think so. I think the problem permanents are still going to be enchantments. But we're on the play here. I think if we're on the play in that round, we'd probably win. Okay, yeah. This hand plays. We're mulligan to 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do turn 1 Thoughtcast. Pretty good. And we've got this Force of Vigor for when stuff starts to pop off. I don't know, I'm feeling good about our hand. Our opponent's obviously on a bit of a brew, so it's certainly given us a bit of a fair try to do some stuff. It's not like we're against one of the like scary high proficient decks. Seat, Memnite, Petal. Surely you're not going to be Force of Vigor in me here. Don't play me like that. Like, we have a lot of card advantage to recoup, but we need a critical mass of stuff to just get the ball rolling. Alright. And we'll have our Mox Opal. We'll cast this Thoughtcast on turn 1. Pretty good. First one was good. Let's see if the second one's any better. I think we hold back the Ornithopter here and pass. So we got Force of Vigors. That's for sure. A Wild Growth, sure. We need some more action here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put this out. So this should now cost 2 mana. Let's have a 4/4. Powerful salamander action right now. We have a lot of Force of Vigors. I think we're just going to be hard casting Force of Vigor every turn after this and just beating down with our 5 power. And that might be good enough. I think we're just going to see the little, what's it called? Spirit Dancer here. Light Pause. Okay. This one is kind of annoying. Sure. Oh, okay, this makes more sense with the Lash Knife now. Because this goes and finds them another thing. Daybreak Coronet. Okay. Audacity. Okay, there's some stuff over there, that's for sure. But they're running low on gas over there, so... Craterhoof, that's not what we're casting right now, is it? I would like to blow up the Audacity and the Ethereal Armor. So this is green of this and green of this. We do get to draw a card here, but in their turn we will get rid of the... In their upkeep we'll get rid of the Wild Growth and the Lash Knife, and that will make the Coronet fall off. And then we'll untap and have another Force of Vigor. So Lash Knife, Wild Growth, get rid of this Behemoth. Goodbye all of your abilities. Alright. And we can just draw, you know, cards that draw us lots of cards. Utopia Sprawl, sure. Don't think they're going to have any 0 mana things if I'm reading this one right. Less than, or equal to, okay, yeah. They're going to come in for 4, or they're going to fall into our trap. I don't think they're blocking here. They might do. Oh, they're not going to like this, are they? Go to this and this. It's going to shrink their one guy down and give us the win, I believe. I don't think they're going to want to keep playing after this. They have Sworn Earth, which is fair. Wow, what a draw. Alright. We managed to get a 2-3 out of it, which honestly is better than the deck maybe deserved. There's some fundamental deck building here, so I just want to get right into the problems with this deck. So, the problem with this deck is this column here is quite a powerful selection of things to be doing, but it only works if you have enough stuff down here to make it work. And we just didn't have that. Honestly, I think if we are looking at what we can do to change this, we could probably cut these things. That's 4 cards straight away. We can get ourselves 2 more Ornithopters, or we could get ourselves like some middling things like Patchwork Automaton. But I think the Ornithopters are pretty good because it makes our Glimpse of Natures better, which aren't actually that good right now. So that would be my first step. I think that would make quite a lot of difference. Like a lot of the games we lost, we just had like Neoforms and stuff in our hand, or we had these and we couldn't deploy them. We just needed more creatures here. I think maybe 4 Up the Beanstalk is possibly pushing it, but if we're adding in like 2 Ornithopters and 2, what do you want here? Honestly, I'm always tempted to play Frogmite in this deck, as bizarre as that sounds. But like another Springleaf Drum would be really good here, because that just helps you snowball and fixes your mana a little bit as well. So I think a 3rd Springleaf Drum would probably be nice here. Maybe even just a 4th. Just test it out with the engine trying to run as smoothly as possible. Like we don't necessarily need Craterhoof if we're just making all these guys. Although you could argue that we do need to do something to sort of go over the top. There probably is another card we could run. Like we wouldn't need much, to be honest. But I think we just want to be able to like throw a load of stuff out and just keep slamming stuff on the board. Like maybe you could keep 1 Craterhoof and have no Neoforms, but just have a okay, you play out like your whole deck and then you just Cradle Behemoth for the win or something. You want to kind of play a little bit more like Elves, where you sort of have like a big combo turn like this. Yeah, don't really have much else to say about this one. I think the sideboard could use some work. We certainly lucked out into hitting 2 Enchantress style decks with our 4 Force of Vigors. But the decks we beat are obviously not the top tier of Legacy, whereas when we played against things like Doomsday or the Mono Red Prison, we got clapped pretty hard. And, you know, that's a shame. But I think a big part of it is our deck just not doing the things it needs to do. You could try and run things like Force of Will if you wanted to. I think we're better off just sort of going more as like a fast combo-y deck. Like you could also play something like a crop rotation. I think Pleasant Kenobi, when they posted their list that they're working on that was sort of similar to this, they had crop rotations in it, which means you can crop rotate into the Cradle to have the mana to cast the Behemoth. The problem with that is if you have the Cradles in hand, then you don't get to do that. So maybe there's another option. Maybe you could play something weird like Exploration, or as like a one-of, so that when we basically draw our whole deck, we can use a Lotus Petal to put in our extra land drop of a Cradle, which then lets us cast our Behemoth. That could be worth doing. But again, I'm not entirely sure what that looks like. Maybe we don't need the Aether Spellbomb. So this could be the Cradle. So if we turn this one into another Springleaf Drum and we have this over here, and I guess, yeah, so we have 3 Springleaf Drum. We have one thing to enable the Craterhoof and the Craterhoof. So yeah, like Exploration is probably like the cheapest way of just putting an extra land into play that can then tap it. Because we basically need to turn one Lotus Petal into a Cradle, and I think the easiest way of doing that is if we've drawn our whole deck, we can just slam it that way. Yeah, I don't think this deck is ever going to be like a real top tier contender, but it could do some really fun stuff, and we had a bit of a laugh when it worked, even though it was a little bit misbuilt trying to do this Neoform stuff. I don't think that's necessary or good. I think it's just jamming us up, and we do need more 0-drops so we can do the Glimpse. We could also go even more extreme and have more 0-drops and like strip out some lands to put more 0-drops in and just have some like big Glimpse turns, because we've got a whole bunch of ways of reloading, right? This is sort of our ability to reload. So that's a lot of cards that draw us more cards. So maybe we can afford to play more of like the cards that aren't very good but have some synergy with our deck. Because at the end of the day, our deck is a synergy deck. So maybe that's something we could look at. All right, I think we're done here. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was something a bit different. I've been playing some like good decks recently, so I thought I'd play something that I knew was going to be a bit trashy. But we had a bit of a laugh with it, so there is that. If you would like one of your trashy decks or one of your good decks on the channel, just drop me a comment below the video or message me on the Discord, which is in the description, and we can sort out a donation deck for you. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get up to 2,000 subscribers before November. So it's like 6 and a bit weeks or something like that. So if we could try and do that, that'd be really good. I appreciate everyone watching my content, and just keep playing Legacy, right? It's the best format, so just keep jamming it. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.